Do you think the EU has done enough so far to actually try and punish Belarus for what it's done? Or do they need to be locked down of the international payment system? Do they need to be frozen out of financial markets?
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to my colleagues in European Council, because the understanding of the colleagues what happened on the weekend was very firm and very clear, and we just understood how dangerous the regime is. We are the neighbors. We understand and we see this regime with the open eyes. And what happened on weekend, we can call it not only the act of state terrorism, but also this is a kidnapping of two persons in the middle of Europe and hijacking of a civilian airplane. So Roman Protasevich just was detained in the middle of Europe. And of course, this action created and put in danger the lives of 120 passengers from the 18 nationalities. So we needed the decisive actions, and I think those actions were done. First of all, demand to release Roman Protasevich and Sofia Sapega, then to close the airspace of European Union to the Belarusian airlines, and of course recognize the Belarusian airspace as totally unsafe for the airplanes from Europe. And we would like to talk also about possible targeted economic sanctions to this regime, which are highly needed in order, probably we will not scare the dictator in Belarus, but at least what we can achieve to show the interconnection between his actions and consequences.
Mr. President, tomorrow there's also a meeting between Vladimir Putin and President Lukashenko. Do you expect anything to come out of it? Will Russia try and temper what happened?
What is happening last several years, this is the efforts of Russian government to swallow Belarus as an independent state. And I think they are quite successful in doing this, especially after the elections of August 2020. And I think now the situation for Mr. Putin to elaborate and implement this plan of unification of both states, he has very favorable conditions to do this. And I think that he will use this opportunity to swallow the independent state of Belarus. Of course, we can discuss how independent is the state at the moment. We do not see any big signs of independence, but anyway, I think it's very dangerous geopolitical process going on near to the European Union borders, and we should be aware of this.
And sir, just to pick up on that point and make it clear, essentially what you're saying is that Vladimir Putin is looking for Crimea 2.0 to take over the country and adhere the country to the Russian Federation.
Yes, absolutely right.
Okay, okay. Well, on that point, I also wanted to ask you, you say, and you've mentioned the word terrorism, hijacking, kidnapping of people. Your country, Lithuania, has become a big hub for critics of Lukashenko. I wonder if you're in a position to guarantee their safety. And of course, I'm also thinking in particular of Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. Can you guarantee her safety in the country?
Yes, you rightly mentioned that Lithuania is a safe harbor for opposition leaders, for the journalists, from the people from the civil society of Belarus, and also the journalists of free mass media. And we do all we can in order to protect them, to give them good conditions to live and to work. But of course, the regime tries to intimidate them and tries to threaten them. And probably one of the elements of this recent event was just to show to the people, to the journalists, to the opposition, look, we can catch you no matter where you are. in the air, under the water, or somewhere else. And I think this is a reason behind, and this is the logics behind. But I see only one possibility to change the pattern of behavior, just to show that the time or period of deep concerns or other rhetoric expression is over. And we need actions, because otherwise we don't have the tools to influence or to have any impact on the behavior of this regime.
And sir, of course, you know, this is a situation in Belarus. You talk about this ultimate goal to annex the country, but we're also seeing Russian troops very close to Ukraine. For the country sitting on the eastern border, of course, this is always a concern. So what are you hoping comes out of the NATO summit that's coming up?
I think this is a very important issue we should discuss in NATO summit in the mid of June, because we see a lot of elements of increasing tension in the region. And of course, Belarus is only one of them. Yes, you mentioned the location of Russian troops and other factors, and so also some tension in Moldova, in Georgia, in other countries of Eastern Partnership. So I think we need to have the clear signals from the nearest summit in Brussels that NATO as organization is fully aware of what is happening in this region and is ready to take those challenges with corresponding measures and corresponding actions.
Mr. President, given what happened on Sunday, what are the dangers of President Lukashenko having a nuclear plant?
Unfortunately, this issue was also under discussion on Monday, and I was the initiator of this discussion. Yes, all the time, Lithuanian authorities were very sensitive to this issue, not only because ecological, economic, energy market reasons, but also because of geopolitical reasons. And I see what is happening after the events of last weekend. We should treat this nuclear power plant, this facility, not only as unsafe source of generating electricity, but also as a geopolitical weapon in the hands of the dictator Lukashenko. And yes, he having this facility in his hands can use it just as blackmailing instrument for the European community. And I think we have to do all we can, all what is in our hands, in order to prevent the electricity from Belarus going to the energy market of European Union. And so far, we don't have the technical decisions by 100% how to stop this electricity from flowing to the continental energy market of European Union. But I think we are now in the process of synchronization of our energy markets, and we will finish this project in 2025. And then we will be able to protect ourselves from the unsafe electricity from Ostrovets. This is very important, not only from the technical, economic point of view, but also geopolitical point of view. We cannot finance unsafe facilities near to the European Union border.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for joining us. Lithuanian President there, Gitanas Nauseda, and our Brussels reporter, Maria Tadeo.